Okay, so hello guys. Last time, welcome to our interview wall. Um, Together, I sorry, I get joined by the winner of the Grand Open. So congratulations, Marvin, and also to you, Jannis. Congratulations to second place. Uh, like in all feature matches before, we're going to quickly talk about some plays which were interesting for Twitch chat. So basically, game one, it took 47 minutes, and then you scooped. Why?
Um, I didn't really scoop because we had in this turn Jannis would have won anyway because he had Titanic Galaxy and forced my Fog Blade with Diamond Direwolf, and he could switch his Castle and I think Abyss Dweller to attack position and then attack with them in my Virgil, and Titanic Galaxy would have get the ATK of Dweller and of Caster, so it would
Okay.
be 6700 attack over my Virgil, and then I would be dead anyway, so I just speed it up so that we can play another game.
Yeah, so my plan was to just summon Direwolf and force the back row or destroy it itself, so my Galaxy would also get the attack boost. So when he used Fogblade, I knew I could just switch both monsters to attack and attack for game pretty much. And when I turned them to attack mode, he scooped because he knew I was gonna do that anyway.
Okay, okay, now it makes sense. In the second game, we had a situation where you went into Castell, Emerald, and Dweller, but you could have gone instead to Castell, Dweller, and Dinoster, having basically the same field, 200 more attack, and 2 monsters more in the extra deck.
Yeah, I remember that game. I thought for a long time, and I decided I would be summoning Emerald instead because that way with Dweller he probably can't out my whole field. So I knew I might have got another chance to use not Dwellers, to use
Emerald
Emerald's
effects.
effect again. Yeah.
Okay,
And also, I'm not entirely sure if it was Master Pendulum on the field. I do think it was Vector instead, so I couldn't have gone for Dinosaur. I'm not too sure about that.
it would have been possible. We
Alright.
went through the situations,
Yeah,
but
it might be just
anyway.
because of using Emerald again then.
Okay, and maybe even before, I think also it was in the second game, no, in the first game basically, where Marvin used Maxi and you just panel summoned a sorcerer in defense and nothing else.
Yeah.
Why you decided to just panel summon the sorcerer and not also I think you had a master in hand.
Also had Maxi.
Sorry?
So, because he had also Maxi, so he knew that he will be safe probably. So I think that was. The
I do
reasoning.
think. Do you know when I had my extra deck? That moment.
You had nothing in the extra deck.
Yeah, I remember. I had one Master Pendulum in hand also.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, I decided because I know he plays 3 Twin Twister, I decided that if he has it and uses this on my 2 scales, I just have to draw another scale to have a play. If I would have also summoned Master Pendulum and he would have destroyed both of them, I could have only gotten out of that situation by top decking either Monkey Board or Joker.
Okay.
Which, yeah, I could have top decked both pretty much, but it's way safer to just have that Master Pendulum in your hand, because I knew I had Maxi. It was still safe no matter what, so I just decided to keep to the scale for me to have more top decks. pretty
Okay,
much.
that's cool. Then we have basically in game three, we, we had the situation where you basically you didn't side out all upstarts, right?
Yeah, that was kind of stupid. The thing is, after game 1, I was not entirely sure if I would go first or second, so I decided to keep Raving out of the game, because if he goes first, there's a high chance that Raving is just gonna be dead anyway. So I decided to not keep that in, but instead keep 2 upstarts. The thing is, because the second game ended in time, we didn't have the chance to side deck again, so
Yeah.
that's why I had to keep my upstarts in my deck, and I didn't have the chance to put them out. So it's like after game 1, I had the chance to return them to my side deck pretty much, but I just chose to have those in the main deck over Wavering instead.
Okay, and did you know after the first game that there were just 3 minutes left on the clock?
Um, I knew it wasn't much, but I didn't know exactly how much time it was left.
Okay, and then well, in the third game you had to play this upstart. And then you made like a kind of weird play with this King of the Feral Imps.
Yeah. The thing is, I thought for a second I could have. There were two options I could have gone for. The first one was I could have gone for Ignista instead, shuffle back Dante, but then Weiner would have triggered, dumped Gruff, and Gruff would have just summoned either Sir or just Skarm,
yeah.
and I couldn't have gone for any damage. So that wouldn't have been possible. In the end, I could have also gone for Dweller, and instead of using Eccentric Archfiend, I could have just used my MST that I had
Exactly.
on the back row, then summoned Eccentric Archfiend, go for Dweller, tribute it, and get rid of both Dante and Fiendish Reiner at the same time, and also push for 1/7 damage. Although it was only a deficit of 700 in that case because of upstart.
Yeah.
But the thing is, if I would have done that,
Yeah.
he still had Raigeki in the end, so that wouldn't have mattered. But I decided just to take the risk and go for a more offensive play. And after that happened, I decided the only option I had left after Pendle summoning both and having Centric Archfiend extra deck was going for King of the Feral Imps, because I did have Raigeki as the top deck, which could have still won me the game because I had Treacherous Trapper. So if I had gone for damage, I might have been able to survive because of Treacherous Trapper.
Okay, but
So I decided to just search for it and hope for the best. That was after I Pendulum summoned both. I had to decide beforehand, before I even knew if he had Maxi or not. That's when I had to decide if I should go for either Dweller or for another play.
I think even with Raigeki you wouldn't have made any damage because it's the same situation. He just gets to withdraw off the Sir, and
Yeah.
then you can attack.
I would have had to draw like Raigeki and
face off, for
I don't know.
example.
Yeah, or for example, Garmessier, which I also sided in.
Yeah.
If I would have drawn into that, he wouldn't have had any monster besides that, so I could have gone for at least 100 damage with Feral Imp overhead. So
Still the 1000 life points from upstart
yeah,
that would let you lose.
So I had to draw
Okay.
two cards, either like Garmessier or and face off, for example. That could have still been possible, but I didn't really expect to draw anything. But in the end, he had Ghost Ogre anyway, so it didn't matter at all.
And a question basically from the Twitch chat was, should Maxi be limited because it
Yeah, that's his fault.
deviated-
That's his fault.
Definitely not. Definitely not.
The thing is, I really liked Maxi because every format there's at least one deck that is pretty first turn heavy, and Maxi's, besides Dweller, besides Veiler, is the only card that can really stop that from happening. But in the end, it's like I don't really think it should be limited because most of the time, like today, I started in two more Maxis to the one I had in my main deck. He had three in his main deck anyway, so it's like we could have also both drawn into them, but in the end, only he did. So that's why he won. But I don't really think limiting Maxi is that healthy for the game.
Okay. And now the tournament is over. I think you had both like 2 really long days. Especially it's like now even 7 o'clock in the evening again. So how was the tournament for you, basically? Concerning
to be
playing
honest,
or the whole venue?
I decided to play like last Sunday, I think. I don't even have a deck. The deck I played today was lent to me by Sven Pittner. So pretty much I had like 5 days to prepare for the event, playtest the deck. I have never played the deck before.
Okay.
Also, I didn't even know every card from all the meta decks. So it was like 5 days of testing, then coming here. Day 1 I lost to Long Dao, for example, and ended up 4-2, which is not that great of a score. But I decided to still show up and try my best. So I ended up 6-2, managed to get 15th place, and in the end I also reached the finals, so I guess it pretty much worked out.
Well, and for you, we already talked about it, undefeated the whole weekend, just 1 draw where you also would have won. How does it feel to have a deck that is like so much superior than to all other decks, basically?
Yeah, pretty consistent. Today I think I lost. Yeah, I lost one game against you in the final, and that's it. So, and that is why I don't think Maxi should be limited, because otherwise, yeah, I would have to play more traps and would break more, and so Maxi
More
is,
eccentric.
yeah, and there are cards like eccentric,
Yeah.
twin twister, MST, and
Stuff
so on.
like that.
And yeah, Maxi is just better than traps.
Okay, and I think the Twitch chat asked once again. We already discussed that. I think this morning, why you're not playing Soul Strike, Warning, and stuff like that. The chat asked again because most of the viewers were new. So could you quickly explain it again?
Okay, yeah, of course. Beatrice is a trap in itself. So you want to summon her as fast as you can, and yeah, you need BA monsters for that. So you want to have a big deck, so many BA monsters, some Phantom Knights, Rhino, and Togite. And the Phantom Knight engine gives you at least 3 traps with the fog blades, and you can search them by milling with the Ante, so there's a huge synergy.
Yeah.
And yeah, as I said, Beatrice is a trap in itself with Alec and Fafa, and that is why I'm not playing the Solemn engine.
Okay, that's cool. And Rescue Hamster. What was the idea behind this card?
The idea behind it is like most of the time your normal summon is kind of useless in this deck anyway, because if you are able to pendulum summon, you can just summon everything from your hand. The only exception is basically Joker. But the thing with Hamster is I also decided to run 3 Lizard Draw, for example, 3 Eccentric, 3 of both Vector and Master Pendulum, and other cards, just to be able to put them in the extra deck and go for Hamster. Because with Hamster I can just get 2 more Hamsters from my deck and go for a first turn, for example, Access Play. And also, every time I open Rabbit, for example, my first turns get really good, pretty much, because you're able to get 2 Master Pendulum, go for Dinostar, pretty much, and after that you can still Pendulum summon. So the idea behind Hamster is to be able to put stuff in the extra deck quickly, like with Eccentric, Archfiend, or Lizard Draw, just to get a first turn Exceed, which you can search Chameleon with, for example. So if you go for Pendulum summon, you can summon Ignister, even if you don't have access to Luster. So Ignister is the best card of the deck, pretty much.
Yeah.
At least it's able to get you out of every situation there is. Like if there's a floodgate or any monster, even non-target stuff like Cosmo monsters, it can still just get rid of that threat immediately. So that's why having another access to Ignister is really good, in my opinion. And also often you can go for Eccentric, pop a back row, summon Rabbit, Hamster, get 2 more Hamsters, go for Direwolf to destroy another back row, and after that you can still Pendulum summon. And also Hamster is in the extra deck after you tribute it, so that's another card you can just get back. So it's really easy to get rid of 2 back rows, and after that just Pendulum summon for game.
Okay, that's pretty cool. And now for the tournament itself, not the playing part, but the organization and the whole venue and stuff like that. How did you like that?
Apart from the first day delay, pretty much. Apart from that, it was pretty good. I mean, it went smoothly, pretty much. I liked the location. It was really nice to have the top card up here. So there are too many watchers standing everywhere, pretty much. It's big enough to host these events, so I don't know. I really like the location and the whole managing in general, I guess.
For you?
Yeah, maybe there's one problem, the floors, because we have 3 floors. So that is maybe not the best for a tournament like this, but I think it was not a really big problem for us.
Okay, so congratulations again to both of you guys.
Thank you.
And anyone you want to greet? as the final words of the
I want to
competition?
greet Jannis. Then I want to greet Sven and Jens Pittner,
Yeah.
who also lent me the deck, um, together with Camelo Bottiglieri. And yeah, Team Nightmare.
Pretty much, we're both part of Team Nightmare, and we were the only ones to be able to top this event, and we ended up in the finals, so it's
Pretty cool.
pretty good. And I also want to greet Timo Peters, which, or rather, who I talked to yesterday, and we had a nice little chat, so I just wanted to greet him.
Okay, so that's it. Thank you very much for tuning in, and we will see us in London at the Major Tour stop.